Give yourself permission to be unreasonable. Stay with me for today's episode where we talk about our ability to reason and think. Are you allowing your results to control your thinking? And how can you start using your thinking to control your results?
The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Rat Race Reboot. I'm your host, Laura Noel. And as a certified coach and former 27-year military leader, each week I provide bite-sized mindset pivots that will help you reset your mind, reawaken your spirit, and regain your control. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our final segment on our 6 mental faculties. Today, we're going to be talking about our ability to reason, our reasoning faculty, really, which is our ability to analyze, to compare, to digest, to take in new ideas, and we use it to make decisions. And really, every moment we're in, we're making decisions all the time. One other really cool capability it has is it can take in all of the information that we're taking in and compare it and help us create new ideas from that ability to reason. So it's our inductive reasoning. It has the ability also to originate new thoughts and bring them together into new ways that can help us creatively problem solve. But what can happen is when we are stuck in analysis paralysis, when we're allowing circumstances to drive our reasoning and our decision making, we're actually not engaging that reasoning faculty. We're letting circumstances drive our thinking and then drive our results. So I want to flip that on its head and teach you how to use your reasoning faculty in a much better way to help you overcome fears that might be keeping you stuck and to help you kind of break the status quo in creating the same results or the same level of results that you might have been creating. It's that reason faculty that'll help you be unreasonable. I want you to give yourself permission, like I said earlier, to be unreasonable and to dream. But sometimes our reasoning faculty and our old mental programming, if we're not using it effectively, will keep us stuck in even setting the same type or same level of goals. So we get caught up in that rat race. I remember in one of the first episodes, I shared with you how I was doing a lot of things that seemed really impressive from the outside looking in. And I had this insatiable desire to always be achieving more, doing more, having more. I was doing marathons, figure competitions, getting promoted really fast, the half Ironman, leading different organizations. But I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking beyond that. And even though it looked impressive, I wasn't fulfilled because I wasn't really being the fullest expression of myself. I wasn't engaging my reasoning faculty in a way that opened me up and expanded my creativity. So a lot of people think that using your reasoning is kind of keeping you bound, but it's not. It's a way to open you up. And honestly, neuroscience will tell us that as humans, we're only using a really small percentage of our brain power. And so this is a great way to tap in to the power that's locked up inside of you. So I want you to think about a situation that's not going well. And I'm going to have some steps for you that I want you to follow to help you engage in that reasoning faculty in a different way so it'll spark creativity. And so if you have a notebook with you, take notes. If not, you can come back and listen to this again. But one, recall a situation that's not going the way that you want. And think about it in all of its glory, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that. And I don't want you to go into problem-solving mode right now. I want you to look at that situation. I want you to write it down. I'm really demanding. I keep saying I want you to, but this is really important because in order for you to get the most out of this exercise, it's important that you write it down so that you can look at it as the observer. And I don't want you to look at this with the eye of judgment in yourself, because this is how you start to engage in these faculties and you start to peel back the layers of the onion and get a deeper understanding of how freaking awesome you really are and all the creativity that's inside of you. I want it to come out. So that's why I'm being very demanding. So write this down. Write the situation down where you're not getting the results that you want. And then after you write it down, read it to yourself. And then think about, what thoughts am I thinking when I'm in this situation? What thoughts am I thinking about this situation? So you're not evaluating the situation. You're not looking for solutions right now. You're just thinking and acknowledging and becoming aware of the thinking that normally occurs when you're in this situation. Next, I want you to think about, what are some ways now that you could transform the situation? And I don't want you to think about what's wrong with the situation. And anytime you kind of go down that path, autocorrect yourself. Nope, we're not doing that. What can I think? What transformative ways of solving this can I think of? And then when you start writing that situation, write it out the way you want it to unfold. And so what are some more empowered thoughts that you could think about that situation if everything was going extremely well? So I'm not saying that things are going well right now, but I'm saying you're taking that situation that's not going well. You're becoming aware of what are the predominant thoughts you're thinking about that situation. Next, you're writing that situation the way you want it to be. Like you're fast forwarding. Gosh, if there were no obstacles, what would this situation look like? And so what are some more empowered thoughts I could have if everything were going just smashingly well? And now, what are some inspired actions I feel like taking? It's a really powerful exercise that I want you to engage in regularly, because it's going to help you shift your thinking and it's going to help you come up with more solutions, because you're not stuck in the situation the way it is. You're looking at the situation the way you want it to be, and then you're thinking about that situation. What are more empowering thoughts that I could have if this is the way it was unfolding? And wow, what do I feel inspired to do right now? And you'll write those ideas down, even though it's not physically manifesting in that way right now, because you're in alignment with the goal, the way you want it to unfold. And so those ideas that are going to be generated from that are ideas that you haven't thought of yet, because you're thinking of the situation in a new way instead of your old way of thinking, in your old programmed way of thinking. You can also use this when you are in a situation where you're doing something for the first time and it's new and you're scared and you don't know how it's going to pan out. You can use your reasoning faculty to, instead of asking yourself, like we're trained to do, oh, well, what's the worst that could happen? And we say that like it's a good thing, right? We're accustomed to that question. But ask yourself, use your reasoning faculty and ask yourself, well, what's the best that can happen? That's going to bring you in alignment again with your vision. And the ideas that come from that are going to be in alignment with what you want to create instead of more of the same of what you've been creating. So that's a way that you could talk yourself off the ledge. So those are a couple of ways to exercise your reason ability. And that's one of your mental faculties, one of your 6 mental faculties. And that's really short and sweet for today. So do the exercise, and we can go through it right now as we end every single episode. I like to get you in harmony with your goal or your wish or your dream fulfilled so that you can take inspired action for the day, for the week. So we're going to do that right now. So I want you to, wherever you are, unless you're driving, get comfortable, put your feet firmly planted on the ground, and just begin to be aware of your breathing. And start to slowly deepen your breath with each inhale and exhale. Take a deep breath through your nose And exhale slowly and completely through your mouth. Take one more deep inhale and exhale. Take a deep inhale, but hold it this time at the top of your inhale. And exhale, releasing any tension that you might be holding on to. And I want you to bring to mind something, your goal, something that you want to be, do, or have. Maybe it's something that you're currently struggling with. Bring it front and center to your mind's eye. And then ask yourself in this moment, how can I be more effective in advancing this goal? How can I be more effective in improving this situation? How can I be more effective in less time? How can I be my best self in implementing solutions to this challenge? And just sit quietly now and listen to your intuition, which is one of your mental faculties, the first one we talked about, in fact. And trust your intuition will guide you. Maybe you have ideas float to the top of your mind right now, and if so, write them down. If not, be open throughout the day to more ideas and solutions and opportunities. And when you're faced with those solutions or opportunities, act decisively. Welcome back, everyone. Continue on this journey for as long as you like. This is something that's a part of my non-negotiable daily practice. I incorporate this type of exercise every single day to keep me focused and aligned on doing the right things and out of the rat race. And I can promise you, if you incorporate this into your day, you're going to be much more effective in less time and feel much more free and focused. And I want that for you and everyone else. If you got a lot of value out of today's episode, I want you to go to ratracereboot.com and leave your feedback and comments. I do read them, and follow us on whatever channels you listen to your podcast on. I also would love for you to subscribe to our weekly newsletter so you know what's coming up and what events that I'm hosting and workshops, and then share this with your friends. So until next week, I will see you next time. Remember, everything is created twice, first in your imagination and then in physical form. We'll see you next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.